Welcome to Learn English Online. Have you ever found yourself speaking English and it just feels, well, a bit clunky?
Yeah, like there's that awkward pause while your brain is busy translating.
Exactly. Or, all the grammar rules, you've got the vocabulary down, but when you actually speak, it just doesn't quite sound natural.
You're definitely not alone in that. It's a really common challenge for English learners.
It really is. You might have a fantastic vocabulary, a solid grammar, but if the pronunciation isn't quite there,
It can really hinder understanding.
Right.
And honestly, it can make you feel pretty anxious about speaking up, can't it? That internal translation thing, it just slows everything down.
which is precisely why we're excited today to talk about a technique many people are calling a real game changer for English learners.
Ah, you mean shadowing.
That's the one. We're doing a deep dive into the shadowing technique. Think of this as your guide to getting really well informed about this specific approach.
And we've looked at quite a bit: academic research, practical tips from language experts, even real stories from learners like you.
Our mission today is pretty straightforward. Help you understand what shadowing actually is, why it works so well, how to do it effectively.
And crucially, some common mistakes to, steer clear of.
All aimed at helping you speak English more clearly, more confidently, and just more naturally.
Sounds good. So, where do we start? What exactly is shadowing?
Let's break it down. At its core, what are we talking about?
Okay, simply put, it's listening to native English speech and then repeating it aloud almost immediately.
Right after you hear.
Yeah, like a split second after. You're trying to mimic everything: the pronunciation, the rhythm, the intonation, in real time.
So your voice is kind of like a shadow of the audio.
Exactly. Or like an echo. That's a good way to think about it. You're just echoing the speaker.
Okay, but why is that active mimicking so important? Is pronunciation really that fundamental?
Oh, absolutely fundamental. It's really the bedrock for clear communication. If your pronunciation isn't clear, people might struggle to understand you, even if your English otherwise is great.
That makes sense.
And good pronunciation, it does wonders for your confidence. It really reduces that speaking anxiety we mentioned.
Which then encourages you to actually use English more, right? More naturally in actual conversations.
Precisely. And this really hits home for a lot of learners, especially maybe in their first year or so.
Yeah, the differences between English sounds and their native language can be, well, pretty huge sometimes.
Definitely. Like, think about Vietnamese learners. They often struggle with those final consonant sounds in English because, well, they just don't really exist in Vietnamese.
Wow, okay. So how does shadowing specifically help with something like that?
Well, that's where it really shines. It's such a practical, active way to internalize those natural patterns of spoken English, the ones that might be missing from your first language.
So by hearing and immediately copying.
Exactly. By hearing and immediately copying those tricky final consonants, for example, over and over, you gradually retrain your mouth and your ear.
You're building muscle memory, basically.
You got it. Direct auditory input, immediate verbal practice. It helps overcome those specific phonetic hurdles.
Okay, so it helps with tricky sounds, but what are the other big wins? The core benefits of doing this regularly?
Well, I'd say there are three main ones. First, and this is kind of the foundation, it really enhances your listening skills.
Which makes sense, right? You can't mimic what you can't properly hear.
Precisely. Shadowing forces you to actively listen, to really train your ear to pick up on subtle sounds, the way syllables connect, those little rises and falls in intonation, the rhythm.
Things you might miss otherwise.
Definitely. Experts talk about intensive listening combined with repetition. It boosts your phonological awareness, your brain's ability to really hear and identify the individual sounds.
So you become more sensitive to things like stressed syllables or whether the voice goes up or down at the end of a sentence.
Exactly. Things often glossed over in traditional classes. And research backs this up. It shows shadowing significantly boosts listening comprehension because you're processing the spoken language in real time.
Okay, better listening. That's huge. What's benefit number 2?
Improved fluency and confidence.
Ah, the big ones. How does that work?
Well, because shadowing demands that immediate split-second repetition, it trains your brain and your mouth to respond quickly, automatically.
So less hesitation, less translating in your head.
Exactly that. You start to break free from that. You develop what some call fast natural speech reflexes.
So you sound more spontaneous.
Yes, you start mirroring the natural flow of native speakers. You get comfortable saying longer chunks of speech, not just single words.
And the confidence piece.
Well, speaking anxiety is a real thing for many learners. Shadowing helps because you get so familiar with the patterns of speech. It makes you more comfortable speaking out loud, less afraid of messing up.
It feels less like performing and more like
Yeah.
just talking.
Kind of, yeah. It's a massive shift from just memorizing lists of words. Shadowing puts pronunciation right into context, into meaningful, natural language.
Okay, better listening, more fluency and confidence. What's the third major benefit?
This one's really practical.
Yeah.
It's incredibly accessible, flexible, and cost-effective.
Which is a big deal for a lot of people.
Huge deal. It's very budget-friendly. All you really need is like a smartphone, a tablet, a computer, something that plays audio, and access to some material.
So no expensive classes or software needed?
Not necessarily, and it's super flexible. You can practice pretty much anywhere, at home, on your commute, during a break. You fit it into your schedule.
And it works well with all the stuff already out there, right? Like
Yeah.
podcasts, YouTube.
Absolutely. It combines perfectly with modern tools, podcasts, YouTube videos, even pronunciation apps like ELSA Speak. These give you authentic English exposure.
Plus, you get to choose stuff you actually like, which keeps you motivated.
That's key. Choosing topics you find interesting, technologies, stories, whatever makes the learning feel less like a chore and more enjoyable, sustainable.
All right, so we know it's powerful. But knowing that is one thing, actually doing it effectively is another. Let's get practical. How do you start?
First things first, choosing the right material. This is crucial.
Okay, what should people look for?
Well, if you're a beginner, start with something slower, clearer. Maybe podcasts specifically for English learners where the hosts speak very distinctly.
Makes sense. And for more advanced learners.
They can go for native level stuff.
Hmm.
News shows, storytelling podcasts, things with more complex language, faster speech. It pushes you more.
But the key is interest, right?
Yeah.
Pick something you genuinely want to listen to.
Always. That's your motivation engine. Also, think about length, especially when starting out. Shorter clips or episodes, maybe 5 to 15 minutes, are less daunting.
Good tip. Avoid getting overwhelmed. And what about accents?
Yeah, if you're aiming for a specific accent, say American English, then find podcasts or videos with speakers who use that accent. Get your ear tuned to it.
Okay, materials chosen. Now the process itself. Step by step. How do you shadow?
Right. First step, just listen. Pick a short section, maybe a sentence or two, and just listen to it once or twice. Get the general meaning. No repeating yet.
Just comprehend. Got it. Yes.
Step 2, break it down. Don't try to shadow a whole long sentence at once. Cut it into smaller pieces, like little phrases, or even just a few words.
Like learning a song line by line.
Exactly like that. Shadow a small chunk, then the next, then try putting them together. Manageable slices.
Makes sense. Step 3.
Now you repeat. Immediately, play the audio chunk and try to say it right after the speaker, like a split second behind them. Mimic everything, rhythm, sounds, ups and downs.
Okay, the actual shadowing part. And then...
Then step 4, repeat, repeat, repeat. Repetition is your best friend here. Play that same short section over and over, shadowing each time.
Why so many times?
Because each time you'll notice something new. A subtle sound, the way words link together. It helps internalize the patterns. It's active repetition, not mindless.
Okay, and the final step.
Step 5, gradually increase the length. Once you feel comfortable with short phrases, try shadowing slightly longer sentences, then maybe a couple of sentences together. Build up your stamina.
Right, so while you're doing this repetition, what should you really be zeroing in on? Is it just getting the words right?
Good question. It's more than just the words. Pronunciation, yes, saying words correctly. But equally important is intonation.
The melody of the language.
Exactly. The rise and fall of your voice, which syllables get stressed, the overall rhythm. Mastering both is what makes you sound natural.
So mimic how they say it, not just what they say?
Precisely. Pay attention to how native speakers use their voice to convey emotion or intention. Effective shadowing isn't just parroting. It's understanding why it sounds that way.
Like understanding why someone might stretch out a word for emphasis.
Yes, or why their voice goes up at the end of a question. You're learning the meaning behind the music, not just the notes. It's almost like acting.
Okay, that makes it much deeper. Are there tools or tricks to make practice even better?
Definitely. Using transcripts, if they're available, is a huge help.
Like a safety net.
Yeah, you can follow along, catch words you missed, look things up. Builds vocabulary too.
What else?
Recording yourself. I know. It can feel a bit awkward listening back.
Painful sometimes.
Yeah, maybe a little. But it's incredibly helpful. You compare your version to the original, it gives you that objective feedback on where you need to improve, things you just don't hear while you're speaking.
That's a brave step, but probably worth it.
Totally worth it. Also, don't forget you can often slow down the audio playback speed in podcast apps, YouTube settings. Slowing it down to maybe 75% or even 50% can really help you catch the details when you're starting.
Good practical tip. Anything else?
One really crucial thing. Set an intention for each practice session. This is where many learners make a mistake they just repeat mindlessly.
So be specific.
Yes. Decide what you're focusing on today. Maybe it's distinguishing ship versus sheep. Maybe it's getting those ed endings right. Maybe it's the rhythm of questions.
Focus on one thing at a time.
Exactly. This focused attention helps rewire your brain for those specific sounds or patterns. Remember, it's quality over quantity here.
Okay. Quality practice. Clear intentions. Now, shadowing sounds amazing, but let's be real. Are there common problems or mistakes people run into?
Oh, for sure. Especially for beginners, it can feel overwhelming sometimes. The speed of native speakers, the complexity. It can even feel a bit monotonous if you're not careful. But these hurdles can be overcome.
What's the most common mistake you see?
Probably starting with material that's way too difficult. Trying to run before you can walk.
Trying to shadow a fast-paced movie dialogue right away.
Exactly. That just leads to frustration. Start with something just slightly above your level, challenging but achievable. Build confidence first.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What else trips people up?
Not really understanding the content they're shadowing. If you're just repeating sounds without knowing what they mean.
You're just parroting.
Right. You're not internalizing how the sounds convey meaning. Shadowing works best when you actually get the gist of what's being said.
And ignoring the nuances, like the intonation we talked about.
Big mistake. Focusing only on individual words makes you sound unnatural, kind of robotic. You have to listen for that melody, the stress patterns.
Right. And rushing. Trying to go too fast too soon.
Yeah. Thinking speed equals fluency. It doesn't, not at first. Accuracy is key. Slow and steady practice builds the right habits. Speed comes later, naturally.
Like learning an instrument accuracy first.
Precisely. Another thing is trying to shadow huge chunks right away, skipping the break it down step.
I'm trying to swallow it whole.
Yeah. Stick to smaller chunks, short phrases, master those first.
And what about consistency in materials? Does jumping around hurt?
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're constantly switching between different speakers, accents, styles, it gets confusing. Find a voice or a show you like and stick with it for a while.
Consistency helps internalize one particular rhythm.
Exactly. And we mentioned recording yourself. Well, not recording yourself is a big missed opportunity.
Even though it's painful.
Even though it might feel painful, it gives you that crucial objective feedback.
And for videos, people might overlook body language or pauses.
Yes. Especially pauses. They're part of natural speech. And nonverbal cues add meaning. Paying attention makes shadowing more holistic, more like real communication.
And the final mistake. Probably the biggest one.
Giving up too soon. Language learning is a long game, right? It's a journey.
It takes time.
It takes time and patience. Don't get discouraged by slow progress. Celebrate the small wins. Keep practicing consistently. You'll get there.
That feels like the perfect lead-in to our next point. The power of consistency.
It really is the secret sauce, isn't it?
It seems like it. Everything suggests that regular practice is crucial.
Absolutely. Short, consistent sessions, maybe just 10 or 15 minutes every day, are way more effective than one long marathon session once a week.
Like watering a plant, little and often.
Exactly. Small, regular inputs add up to big growth over time. Consistency beats intensity almost every time in language learning.
So the advice is, make it a habit. Find those little pockets of time in your day.
Your commute, while doing chores, a coffee break, whatever works. Build it into your routine so it becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth.
Any tips for staying motivated with that consistency?
Well, one thing could be shadowing with a friend or a language partner.
Ah, like a workout buddy.
Kind of. You can keep each other accountable, give feedback, make it a bit more social and fun.
That could definitely help.
Okay.
So let's wrap this up to recap our deep dive today.
Shadowing. It's a technique that's accessible, pretty simple to start, and really effective.
Yeah, boosts your pronunciation, sharpens your listening, and ultimately builds your fluency and confidence.
Minimal resources needed, fits into daily life. A powerful tool in your English learning toolkit.
So our message to you, listening right now, is definitely give shadowing a try.
Absolutely. Start small, be consistent, focus on making just a little bit of progress each day.
Remember, the journey to fluency is, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But every step counts.
You really do have everything you need to start making improvements today.
And finally, here's a thought to leave you with. Think about the principles we've discussed today regarding shadowing. That focused listening, the intentional practice, the power of consistency.
Hmm. How could you apply those same ideas to other parts of your English learning?
Yeah, like maybe your writing practice,
Mm-hmm.
or how you approach listening to lectures or movies in English. Something to think about. You've got this.